Good evening, baseball fans. It is a Wednesday, May 22nd. I know it's very foreign for me to say it's a Wednesday because normally we come to you on a Sunday, but that's okay. We're switching it up because that's what we like to do here. I am Suzy. That is Kelsey. This is Bourbon and Baseball, all the balls edition. And it's going to be a juicy one this time because we haven't recorded in a little bit because Kelsey has some exciting news. She has turned into a Phillies fan. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, wait, don't get me in trouble here. I know I am by association, by default. I have to be a Phillies fan, low key secondary, but definitely.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm moving within a 15 or 20-minute drive of Citizens Bank Park, which I have not been to yet. So stay tuned within the next month or so. Hopefully I will get there. But yeah, I closed on the house and we're moving in the next couple of weeks. And the Phillies are just really exciting and fun to be a fan of, honestly, this season, but also just the last handful of seasons. My husband bought a Phillies hat, so
Was it the blue one? Was it the powder blue one though?
No, because we couldn't find a good powder blue one, but he bought, so he got like the standard red one with the Phillies P, but it's gonna look really good with, he wants to get, the blue merch, which is also what I want. I'm holding out for that. Yeah, we're tiptoeing our way into Phillies territory. My question for you is, so I live in Chicago and I have my St. Louis Cardinals license plate holder on my car. Am I more or less safe in the greater Philadelphia area with a license plate holder that is not the Phillies?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might have to get just like a general baseball one.
Probably.
But at the Target near our house, they sell both Phillies and Orioles merch, which I thought was interesting. But you know what else I found out, Suzy? You're going to love this. My house is also only an hour and a half away from Camden Yards. So when you come visit, we got to do
Oh my goodness. Okay. So again, that breaks my brain that you were that close to both those
right?
places.
East Coast, baby.
Yeah. So if you're not aware, if you're new around here, Suzy's not good at geography. And I wasn't aware that there was a big ass lake in the middle of Chicago. It breaks my brain to know that there's a train that can take me in like an hour to 43 different states, all within an hour of each other because I'm in Texas and we don't have any of that. Okay. I drive 43 hours. I'm still in freaking Texas.
Exactly.
Guys, I didn't give you guys the radar warning, so I'm pretty sure there was some sort of cuss words in there beforehand. I apologize about that, but this is a rated R podcast for all of the 4-letter words, most likely some inappropriate adult humor, none of the nudity though, because that's not what we do on the show. So I don't know why that would be what you were looking for, but that's not what we do around here. Okay.
Don't worry, YouTube.
Yeah, not that. Just the 4-letter words and the inappropriate adult humor. And away we go. Like I said, it is going to be a juicy one. So strap in, strap on, strap in.
Strap on whatever you like, but we're going to be here talking about baseball.
Yeah, there you go. Ay. But definitely, we're going to just jump right headlong into the hot headlines and news and notes. And we got to talk about PaulSkenes and the Pirates. We got to. If you guys are not aware, PaulSkenes is the hot young pitcher from LSU, I want to say, is where he went for college. And he literally struck out the world in college, and Pirates drafted him first overall. And they have basically babied him in the minors, and people were clamoring for him, and he was on an innings limit. First start came up, and it was decent. Also against the Cubs. Second start, he said, "Hold my beer. Hold my beer." He went 6 innings, 100 pitchers, struck out 11, and it's the Cubs. And Kelsey has some thoughts on the Cubs, but they're not a bitch lineup.
No, not at all. Yeah,
got some good hitters in there.
It's not the White Sox. Come on.
It is not the White Sox. Tommy Pham would have taken him deep. I'm just saying. But 41% whiff rate, y'all. A 41% whiff rate. That is impressive.
Yeah, in his second start. So this is the other thing that you just pointed out to me, which I didn't even realize, but this was so he started twice against the Cubs. Once the first time at home and the second time at Wrigley, like 6 days apart. And the first time he had a 35% whiff rate, which is still insane. But then the second time, when typically the advantage goes to the hitter, he had a 41% whiff rate, 22 misses on 54 swings. Yeah, and he had even more strikeouts and did not allow a hit. He was only pulled through 6 innings because he was on 100 pitches, which I think is like 20 more than he had thrown professionally. So they certainly stretched him out, let him do his thing as far as they could safely. But yeah, he's going to start again tomorrow against the Giants. an 11:35 AM game tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
I
that'll be
I think
interesting to see.
I think it's been all day games that he's started. I don't know
It
about the
has,
first
hasn't
one,
it? Yeah, the
but
first one was at, like, 2 or 3 PM.
okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
but the second one was definitely a day game.
Yeah, Friday
So,
was always
all right.
day games at Wrigley. Yeah.
All right. So,
Maybe
Paul
he likes
Skenes
to
and
wake up
day
early.
games. I was gonna say like college, but I don't remember if he was the Friday starter or the Saturday starter. So, regardless.
Yeah, so they're also keeping him, it looks like, on a six-day rotation, which is what he would have done in college, and I'm sure there's a lot of good research to back that up of why that's just gonna be a way to limit his innings and stretch him out over time, because that's the concern with anyone of his capability, and obviously with as young as he is and the part of his development that he's at, but man, he's an exciting player to watch. Yeah, and if you haven't watched a PaulSkenes start yet, 11:35 tomorrow, Eastern time, or no, Central time. So it'll be 12:30 in Eastern time. This is Susie and I are gonna have a whole new challenge when I'm moving to the East Coast because we're never gonna know what time it is, but
No, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna text you and be like, so I'm here. And then you're gonna be all, oh, I thought it was an hour later. It's
yeah.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun until we figure it out. So, anyhow, Paul Skenes is gonna be there. Livy Dunn will probably be there. You can check out like the entire LSU gymnastics team. I don't know, probably not, but maybe just Livy Dunn. But it'll be interesting. I feel so badly though for the Pirates and the Pirate fans though. They did win the Paul Skenes that second game. They won. Jerry Jones pitched tonight though, and when Jerry Jones left in the 6th, they were winning
Ooh, yeah, I'm seeing that.
5-3 and they just lost 9-5.
Yeah.
So the bullpen blew it. The offense went away, and I just you need to get some offense behind the good young pitchers, guys. So I don't know what Pirates fans are going to do if they don't actually get any offense behind them because there is Brian Reynolds, Kutch is there, but besides them, like,
Brian Hayes is hurt, right?
yeah, I'm like, you got Rowdy
Yeah.
Tellez. Pirates fans are
Got,
punching air right now.
Joe Connor Joe, he's off to a pretty good start. But yeah, no one definitely it's just not solid enough from 1 through
Yeah,
9 to really be problematic for any
anybody really.
solid bullpen or starting rotation.
Yeah.
But actually, this brings up something else I wanted to ask you about because I just saw before we started recording that the BR Walkoff Twitter account posted the top 10 most depressed fan bases so far.
Okay.
And neither the Astros or the Cardinals are on it, which I found to be shocking.
Okay.
But so I asked, does baseball generally have zero sympathy or empathy for Cardinals fans, or has the turn been that sharp in the past week that we no longer qualify for this list? And I guess I feel the same way about the Astros because obviously with the dynasty, there's not a lot of sympathy slash empathy there for Astros fans. And they have most certainly changed their
Been a
tune in
disappointment.
the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks here. Is that it? Is that why we're not on this list? But the Pirates
I
are.
don't oh, I guess maybe. Who's on the list? I don't think I've
So
seen this list.
from 1st to 10th, I assume like the most depressed to less depressed.
Okay.
Athletics being the most
Okay.
depressed. Angels, White Sox, Rockies, Pirates, Mets, Marlins, Tigers, Reds, Blue Jays. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All very solid choices. Very solid.
Yeah. Like reason
Funnily
enough.
enough, I went on an Angels podcast this past week on Monday,
Mhm.
and I was aware that various fan bases disliked the Astros. That's fine. I get it. These Angels fans are 1000% Delulu because these motherfuckers are saying that Rob Manfred is helping the Astros to cheat and that he wants the Astros to win. And I'm all, in what world? In literally in what world? Are you living in the same you're not living in the same world that I'm living in because this is
Right,
no, there's
because
just no
no,
way.
if there's teams to say that about, it's the Dodgers and the Yankees. The
Right?
coast teams. Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, "Do what is are you kidding me right now?" And so I had to get an explanation because apparently we're still cheating. If we're still cheating, then we're doing a horrible fucking job at it because we
I
would
wouldn't know. Wouldn't have
be doing
guessed.
a whole hell of a lot better. But then secondly, what so I'm pretty sure you think that we're the only ones that were cheating? Is that what I'm to understand? Like, it was just the Astros? And, "Oh, yeah, no, absolutely." I'm like, "Okay." That's precious. I love that for you. So, yeah. So, Athletics, Angels, both bad owners. Marlins, gonna blow it up. Mets, gonna blow it up. Reds, I feel like the Reds are just there because while the owner probably has put a little bit of money into him, they're not gonna put much money. I think same with the Pirates.
Yeah, and the Reds, I do think were expected to in the last couple of weeks, they've really had a rough go of
Fallen
it, and
off,
they were
yeah.
expected to turn more of a corner, moving in the right direction the last couple of seasons or last season from
Yeah.
the season prior at least, and I certainly thought that they were gonna keep doing that, and maybe they will, but yeah, more not than
Yeah.
yes to that at this. But the Pirates, I was surprised by because there is so much hype and excitement around PaulSkenes and even Jared Jones.
Yeah, but I think maybe that's the other point though, is that maybe in the back of their heads, they're thinking that they're not going to supplement
Right,
all of that
that
young
they have these
pitching
exciting
with
pieces.
mhm,
Yeah, that just mean nothing in terms of actually winning when you don't have anything around them.
yeah.
That's very
So,
fair.
we'll see. But moving on to another team that has some really astounding pitching that has done better than we had expected this season, Mason Miller, the closer for the Oakland Athletics. I know you guys have been tuning into legitimately every Oakland A game. You've not been unless you're an actual Oakland A fan,
You
but
might
I
for
know
this guy,
that you've
though.
seen. I know you've seen Mason Miller highlights because this motherfucker, oh my god. Legitimately in the innings that he's thrown, he has cumulatively thrown like a perfect game. I don't think he's allowed any runs. I think he's only allowed like 4 hits, and he's struck out like 80% of all batters that he's faced. It's just absolutely ridiculous what this man can do, and he has a master's degree in business management or something like that,
Okay, I didn't know
and
that.
I was all, "Oh, alright. So you throw" he legitimately throws 103 miles an hour. He has a 103-mile-an-hour fastball that he pairs with a slider that he can dot up anywhere. So, when we faced Mason Miller, he threw 2 I think it was 103 and 104 fast mile-an-hour fastball to Jose Altuve, and then dotted up an 86-mile-an-hour slider. Just low and away. It was the most beautiful, grossest, nastiest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. Just locked him up. I'm all, "That's so good. I love that." And you guys have got to tune in to Mason Miller highlights. Follow Pitching Ninja, follow whoever you have to do if you don't actually wanna watch Oakland A's games. But the fact that this guy is so ridiculous and basically has come out of nowhere. He's a quote unquote "failed starter," and he overcame diabetes.
Really?
Which one is the diabetes that you have to have the pump
Like an insulin
for
pump,
the
like
yeah,
juvenile diabetes, yeah. So he probably still Jordan Hicks also has diabetes and it's just something that has to be managed.
yeah.
But that's
Well,
awesome. I mean,
so
to see people who are, yeah, doing all sorts of things, but especially performing athletically with
apparently
something like that
in
is amazing.
college, he went in for a job interview or something, and that's how they found it
Wow.
because he went in for a job interview, had to go give a urine test, and they called him in and they're like, "Okay, either you diluted your urine to try and pass this test, or you have diabetes." He's like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he apparently had been like sick and lost a bunch of weight and stuff,
Yeah,
and
had no
turns
idea.
out he had diabetes. Figured that out, got his insulin, under control, and then put back on some weight, and then figured out that he could do the things that he can do on a mound. I'm all, "Oh, that's great for you, Mason Miller." So, if, again, you've not checked out Oakland A's highlights, go check out Mason Miller. It's Miller time.
Yeah, he has a negative FIP, fielding independent pitching, which I didn't know was possible, and I'm still, like, confused about that, so if any, like, stats nerds wanna explain that to me, let me know because I didn't know you could have a negative FIP, but apparently that's what a negative FIP looks like is what Mason Miller is doing.
Yeah, I'm all, "What? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's gross. It is absolutely gross." But
Oh, I guess he is the only pitcher in a single season to date with more than 15 innings pitched to have a negative FIP. So he's also, like, literally making history. Sounds about right.
yeah. I feel so badly for him though because he doesn't have an awesome walkout song or any of
Yeah,
those
no.
type of things, and
Shockingly,
he
they're, like, playing a broken cassette tape at
yeah.
baseball class dive bar over there for him.
And he was on our good friends over at Foul Territory. He was over there doing an interview, and they had said something about it. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if they turn off the lights, I'm not sure if the lights would come back on."
Yeah.
Like, and so the self-deprecating humor about it, just I love it. And we've got to talk about it though. We've got to. Oakland A's fans, I'm very sorry. Cover your ears. I really apologize. Who is he getting traded to at the deadline?
I was just gonna ask you that. Do you think they have to deal him, right?
They have to. My best guess is the Orioles.
Well,
And
I like that too because our friends at Foul Territory like to talk about how Ryan Helsley is gonna get dealt to the Orioles at the deadline, which isn't gonna happen for reasons we'll discuss later on. So, yeah, Mason Miller, come on
yeah,
over. You're an Oriole.
I think Mason Miller, I think the Orioles are going to give the Athletics a haul for him.
And they can.
And
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It has to
yeah,
be an organization that can make it well worth it for the Athletics, and there you go. It's a match made in baseball heaven.
because really and truly, it's about it, right? The Yankees have Clay Holmes, but he's a free agent after this season. And they have the prospects. I don't know if they'll give him up though, but they're not as lauded as the Orioles prospects.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, unless the Reds are because the Diaz brothers are both really struggling right now for the Reds and the Mets, respectively, but they're not teams that you expect are gonna be in serious enough contention that they would,
Yeah.
do
Do you
what needed
think
to
the
be done to make that move
Braves?
happen.
You think the Braves
Ooh,
would?
Braves, they could. They're another team that certainly could. The Royals are an interesting
Ooh.
pick too because I feel like they had the depth of
I
younger
don't
in their farm system potentially,
Yeah,
but
but I don't think their farm system is very good though. That's part of the issue
yeah,
with the Royals. Maybe the Phillies? How's is it Soto? Who's
I think
who's the Phillies closer
is
now?
he technically their
Is it
closer? I actually don't know. I should know this. PhilliesKelsey
You
over
should.
there.
Phillies Kelsey needs to get on the ball, ma'am.
I'm gonna I'm gonna learn.
Good
What
night.
what Phillies jersey am I gonna get? Whoever their closer is, I need to learn.
Whoever their closer. No, I think you need to get Alec Boehm or Bryson Stott.
Yeah, I'm starting to like Alec Bohm. I'm trying to forgive Alec Bohm. I'm actually definitely getting an Edmundo Sosa jersey because I'm obsessed with Edmundo Sosa. There's I don't know how Phillies fans came up with this. I need to know, but like they
Uh-huh.
have this thing where they say bitches love Sosa and I'm like, yeah, hand raised. That that is
You're
me.
like, "I am that
Bitches
bitch.
love
Thank
Sosa.
you."
Yes.
That's hysterical.
Bitches
Okay.
and me. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a Phillies fan, put in the comments why, how that came about.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
not sure where it came from, but he's playing very regularly right now because Trey Turner is hurt. Super hype on him. There was a really good athletic piece done about him and his story coming from Panama. So check that out if you too are a bitch and love Sosa.
love
Want
Edmund.
to love Sosa.
That's
If you're a bitch, you might love Sosa. So check it out.
we love that.
Yeah. Oh, Alvarado. I don't know if he is their
Oh,
setup
okay.
guy or if he's technically their closer, but I'm not
So maybe
sure. We're gonna have to
then
dial
maybe
in
the
on.
Phillies. All right. So I'm gonna still say the Orioles though. I think
Yeah,
out of all of the teams that we just listed, that farm system, literally those prospects won't even be missed. Not not
exactly.
one iota bit. So Mason Miller to the Orioles, book it.
Right, they're gonna get some really solid closer because there's an obvious need for it, and they absolutely have more than enough to make it happen. It's just a matter of
Absolutely.
who it's
And
gonna be, and yeah, Mason Miller
yeah.
might be the only one who's up there with Ryan Helsley, who currently leads baseball in saves, and he's not going anywhere.
So, well, sticking with the Phillies, I don't know if you know this, Kels, but there is a badass pitcher on the Philly staff not named Zach Wheeler or Aaron Nola.
I did know,
And
but
his name,
that's because, like you, I am a known ball knower, so I did know.
absolutely, his name is Ranger Suarez. If you are not a known ball knower and you are like, I don't, who is this Ranger Suarez guy? There's only the two. It's Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. Ranger Suarez puts them to shame. Not to shame, but really and truly like to shame. His stats comparatively are absolutely ridiculous. I think he's won 9. Is that his win-loss record? I think
I
there
think
was a
after yesterday, right? Did he start yesterday?
I believe so, and then struck
Feel
out
like
10 or
pretty
something.
Yeah, which is that and that was crazy because he also is not a high strikeout guy, which is why he doesn't stand out, jump off the page like Wheeler and Nola. Yeah, he is 9-0 with a 1.36 ERA.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. And the fact that he has just come on. Now, I say he has just come on. We, as Astros fans, knew about him from 2 years ago when we were like, "There's just Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, like, that's all we need to worry about," and then RangerSuarez said, "Hold my beer, bitches. Let me show you what I can do." And then they have Christopher Sanchez doing things for them. Taijuan Walker was hurt, and Spencer Turnbull came in. Spencer Turnbull unfortunately went to the pen, though, and has not been as great, but Christopher
Kind of
Sanchez
okay when you
has come on.
have yeah, when
Yeah.
you have the other 4 lights
Doing the
out
things
guys.
that they've been doing. Side note, I was a Phillies fan tonight because they kicked the shit out of the Rangers. We love
Mhm.
that. 11-4. That makes me
Yeah,
very happy.
Rangers whip is .79.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
He still has he
Yeah.
has more strikeouts even though he's not really a strikeout guy. He has 68 strikeouts and 66 innings pitched.
Yeah.
He's doing all the things.
So Ranger Suarez, remember that name because you will hear about him in the NL Cy Young race.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's had some really big like you said, you're aware of him. Same here, the Phillies got by us no problem in a wild card series in a recent postseason, and so I know about Ranger Suarez because he has had some really meaningful starts and impact in the Phillies postseason runs in the last 2 years just off the top of my head, probably even further back than that, 'cause he made his MLB debut in 2018, so it's unique to see someone too who has been actively, regularly playing in the major leagues for now his, what, 6th season, but here he is reaching full is this full Ranger Suarez potential? If
I
it could be
think
better, I
so.
don't even know how it could be better. Yeah, he's crushing it.
I think so. I so it's been really fun to watch the quote unquote common baseball fan to like find out about him because everyone's like, who's Ranger Suarez? I'm like, let me tell you about Ranger Suarez. But another guy also in the NL that you should probably be aware of. There are going to be so many candidates fighting apparently for the NL Cy Young because Shota Imanaga of the Chicago Cubs is doing ridiculous things. We thought that Ranger Suarez was doing ridiculous things. No, he also is. But Shota Imanaga now has a .84 ERA. Kelsey, a .84. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
entire life. The
He's
fact
also
that
making
he
literally his average annual value for his contract. He is on a 4-year, $53 million deal with the Cubs. Lest I remind you that Yamamoto is on a, what, 13-year, 300 or maybe 12-year, $325 million deal. Yeah, so his AAV is literally half of what Yamamoto's is,
pennies
and he's
pennies
only
on the
on
dollar.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he is a little bit older. I say a little bit. He's 30, which apparently in baseball age, it
Yeah.
is over the hill, but he is older, which that's apparently his only knock. I don't even know. And I heard someone say that he doesn't look like a baseball player, which cracks me up because I'm all, okay. How do you mean that? Do you mean that he doesn't look athletic? Is it because he's shorter? I need more context from this conversation. And they couldn't
Mhm.
answer me. He just doesn't look
They
like a
haven't
baseball
seen enough
player.
baseball players because that is one of the things that I actually find super fascinating about baseball is that there is
It
not one there is the more standard, "Oh, if you're tall, if you're built this way, then you
Mhm.
probably play third base or first base or whatever." But, like, certain body types lend themselves to certain
Right.
positions, but by no means yeah, you've got your ShotaImanaga, you've got your Rowdy Tellez, you've got your BryceHarper, you've got your super tall, gangly Kyle
Right.
Gibson, like, you've got all different types of guys, and yeah, on that same note, like, I'm sick of Cardinals fans talking about Lance Lynn and his weight and his build because I'm like, he's a freaking major league pitcher and
Who's been
doing it
doing this for
for
years. Like,
years, and he's almost 40 years old. Let me know what you look like compared to what you looked like 10 years ago, and you're not throwing 100 pitches, 6 to 7 innings once a
that
week.
cr
Yeah, it's so funny how people are just very openly critical of their initial visual perception of things, but yeah, that is a funny comment to make. If you're not a known ball knower, though, I could see where you might
yeah.
have
But,
that
yeah,
that
if you like good pitching, tune into ShotaImanaga starts and RangerSuarez starts and enjoy all of the hitters just looking lost at the plate, essentially.
There's a lot
So
of conversation right now about how the starting pitcher is, like, becoming the endangered species in baseball, and I think they're 2 great representations of, and PaulSkenes will be too, especially as he
mhm,
gets his pitch count more under control and has that experience. Like, they're great representations of why, like, ultimately the starting pitcher is still
not.
alive and
Yeah.
well.
Yep. So I think he's gone at least 6 innings every start of his. This last start, he went 7. It is a treat watching Shota Imanaga, and the fact that after he strikes somebody out, he's so expressive afterwards,
Yeah.
and he just
The
it
oh,
makes me so happy.
yes, the
Makes me so
showmanship of
happy.
him is just another cherry on top of his amazing performance. Is that, yeah, I think we talked about him saying "Go Cubs, go" in his presser, and even I found that very endearing. He's hard to hate if even I'm over here rooting for him.
Absolutely, and you know that we love the Asians on the podcast, so we gotta give it up. So, staying in the vein of pitching, though, and trying to go 6, 7 innings and being young and really good, ClarkSchmidt of the Yankees, one of the revelations of that Yankee pitching rotation. Not gonna lie, hand up on me. I had my reservations about this Yankee pitching staff, and both Clark Schmidt and Luis Heel said, "Fuck you, Susie. Watch what we can do." However, Clark Schmidt up until this point had been very good, and then they ran into the Mariners, and I don't know if maybe nobody else picked up on this or if Clark Schmidt had just pitched so well that he never had anybody on second base. I don't even know. But apparently, hello,
I
Raja.
just wanted to say hi. He's never been on before. Oh,
Oh,
I
well,
thought he could
we
listen to you talk to us about Clark Schmidt since he won't shut up.
perfect. We can talk about the Clark Schmidt, Raja. He said, never mind, Susie. I don't want to talk about Clark Schmidt. No, thank you. But apparently, who was it? Rojas, Josh Rojas of the Mariners. I want to say he's their outfielder, maybe second baseman. Because
I'll find out.
I want to say he was relaying signs from second base to the hitter. And when I say they basically teed off on Clark Schmidt, I think they put 5 runs on him. And up until this point, he had been lights out. And I say this because I specifically picked up Clark Schmidt on my fantasy team. He had been so good. And of course, because he had been so good, he
Yeah,
gets
so
the
Josh Rojas, I think, he plays second, third, and outfield, which is why you're like, "Where was he at that day?"
I'm like,
But
yeah.
it does appear, yes, that he was in the infield at second base and picked
Okay.
up on the tipping.
So picked up on the tipping of the pitches. And essentially, if you look real close, right before Clark Schmidt would throw the pitch, if there was like white showing in the glove, it was like a breaking ball, or if there was no white showing, it was a fastball, and he would relay that. Dylan Moore, known power hitter Dylan Moore, Clark
Dylan's
Schmidt deep.
so hot right now.
Yeah. And after the game, Clark Schmidt had come out and said, I think I was tipping pitches and they were relaying signs from second. And I don't begrudge that because it's part of the game. Like I should have
Mhm.
pitched better. I should have hit the ball better. That's on me. And Josh Rojas today had said, in not so many words, admitting that, you know, he saw what he was doing. He's like, if that's what I was doing, then like that's part of the game. Be better. So I'm like, oh, so good. I love that for you guys, Mariners. I don't love it for you, Mariners. But that's mainly just because AL West, all of that fun stuff. But good for you for getting some sort of offense because we all know that the pitching is there for the Mariners.
Right. If anybody needs to pick up on some tipped pitches, it is the Mariners offense.
Yes. But apparently they took 2 of 3 from the Yankees, correct? Because I think tonight they won, yes? And I want to say they won big.
That's just how I feel about the pitch tipping and, like, relaying signs in general, is that there is a fair way that it becomes a competitive advantage, and the way that both of them addressed it is exactly how it is. It's like, at that point, in the way that it's being done, it is part of the game, especially when the players are the ones directly relaying it to each other, that's just part of it, and that's on
Absolutely.
them to make sure that, yeah, they're not tipping the pitches, that's why it's called.
Right? They did not get swept. Yankees did not get swept. They won tonight 7-3. And now the Seattle Mariners, lead the AL West 27-23. And apparently this lead that they have is the largest gap that they've had in over 20 years. They've
I believe
never led the
it.
AL West by 3 games, apparently, within 20 years. I'm sorry, what now?
Oh, they don't need to. They're only
Yeah.
trying to win 54% of the time, and that doesn't allow for a whole lot of
Yeah.
gap there.
But the Phillies keep beating up on the Rangers, please and thank you, because the Angels won their last series against the Rangers, which made me
Hmm.
all of the happy.
Yeah, the Rangers are not being very Ranger-esque, not being very World Series championship reigning champions right now. But
No. So
that's
they are
kinda
3
what we
games back.
expected from first half Rangers, though, like, a little
Yeah.
bit.
But Max Scherzer is not coming back. Max Scherzer was doing the
That's
rehab
right.
and, like, he was gonna come back, and now they've put a kibosh on that. He's
Yeah,
not.
something else is wrong with him. I
Yeah.
forget what, but yeah, and it's not his back, it's not his
It's not
hernia
his back.
surgery.
He will not be back. He will definitely not be back until after the All-Star break
Right.
at the earliest. Well, I don't know how y'all thought he was gonna come back anyways, but that's whatever. Neither
Yeah,
here nor there.
yeah, we did talk about that a couple weeks back, and it sounded interesting, but yeah, it looks like he made an initial rehab appearance on April 24th, but he was scratched from his next rehab start because of a right thumb soreness. And doctors later identified a nerve issue that extended to his right triceps. Oof. He's
Ooh,
had cortisone and Botox injections in his shoulder and neck area to alleviate pain associated with the nerve issue. Max, eek.
that does not sound delightful for Max Scherzer. That does not sound that doesn't sound positive at all.
Yeah, and this is unfortunately more or less a common theme that you see with these aging starting pitchers to have the nerve damage, and he has already had challenges with dead arm towards the end of the season, the last 2 seasons, and the writing is on the wall for him, and with someone who has had such an amazing career, you never wanna see them go out anyway, but at the top, but that's the nature of being an athlete, and is just
Yeah,
at some point your body gives out on you, and yeah. So that's what's up. We'll see. We'll keep you updated.
definitely, definitely. But we got to keep you updated on the sausage
Mm.
situation as well,
Tell me
Kelsey.
about the sausage. I haven't heard any good updates.
I don't know why you haven't heard the updates because apparently the Cleveland Guardians whooped up on the Minnesota Twins, but the Minnesota Twins apparently forgot their rally sausage, their summer sausage, in the refrigerator, apparently in the clubhouse.
Oh, so
So
they're refrigerating it now. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
We were wondering about that.
It did not make their last road trip. And I'm trying to find let's see. It did not make their last road trip. So yeah, they got swept. The Yankees swept them, and then the Guardians swept them. So then they lost their first game in Washington, 12-3.
Mm. Oof.
Uh-huh. Up until that point, again, they forgot the sausage in the fridge, apparently. I don't know why it didn't help them when they were at home because the Yankees played them at home. But they went on the road trip in Cleveland, didn't have the summer sausage.
Mm.
It got overnighted to them. They overnighted the sausage to Washington, D.C. And then guess what happened? Guess what happened? They won the last 2 games. After losing the first game 12-3, they won the second game. It was a shutout 10-0. And then they won the third game 3-2. Rally sausage, baby.
The rally
Rally
sausage is
sausage.
real.
Yeah, but apparently in Cleveland, the social media manager, admin, whoever that is, I don't know who it was or how they did it, but they photoshopped a picture of the rally sausage in the trash. And it looked very convincing.
Oh, no. Playing
It
dirty over
looked
there, Guardians
it looked
admin.
so convincing. And I was like, this is the Guardians, right? I saw so many hate tweets towards the Guardians of all teams. And I'm all, am I in an upside down universe? Am I in some weird universe where the Guardians are now getting hate tweets? What is happening? It's because they photoshopped the sausage, and when I say they photoshopped it, it looked very real. So if you didn't zoom in on the picture and really study it, if you just saw the tiny little thumbnail on Twitter, like 99% of Twitter, you would have thought that they threw away the Twins rally sausage.
Oh, man. Don't fuck with the sausage.
Don't fuck with the sausage, y'all. Don't fuck with it. Hopefully, it makes the trip home with them because they're gonna face the Rangers and then the Kansas City Royals, and they're gonna need the rally sausage for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, they need, like, a cooler company, Igloo or somebody, get on this. You need to sponsor Twins.
I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna do this, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I don't know, but rally sausage. The sausage makes the world go round. That's what she said. So, God, Susie. Moving on to some fun news. Tell me, Kels, how close are you to BryceHarper?
My new
I need to
neighbor
know.
my new neighbor, BryceHarper, who lives in literally the town over from where I am moving to, and I have heard from people that I know in the area, including my real estate agent, that he is often seen at Trader Joe's. He is a frequenter of Trader Joe's. Me too, Bryce. So I'm sure we'll meet up there sooner rather than later. But yeah, my neighbor BryceHarper doing neighborly things in South Jersey this week when I think this was just yesterday or maybe the day before, Monday or Tuesday of this week. But I was sitting at a bar yesterday in South Jersey and I saw this come on the news. BryceHarper helped a high school senior, a local high school senior out by asking his girlfriend to go to prom with
So,
him.
was it his actual girlfriend or
Or
just like
maybe
a girl?
not. Maybe they're just yeah, that would
Was
be
it a
even
girl
more
that he just
exciting.
liked?
It might be.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not
because
sure if they're actually dating. You're right, it
I
didn't seem like they were really dating from the news clip that I sent you,
yeah,
so, yeah, that wow, but anyway, this girl is like a lifelong, massive diehard, seems like me in high school with the Cardinals,
right,
but Phillies fan,
with Phillies, yeah.
and I don't know if this kid just ran into BryceHarper, probably at Trader Joe's, as I was saying, or out walking his dog. Again, just a neighbor asking another neighbor for a favor, it sounds, and originally Bryce was gonna make a video, like,
Right,
asking, like, cameo style, and then he was like, "Well, what if we just, like, did this right now? Like, you wanna
right.
just go
Just let's just
now?"
show up
And the
at her
kid was
house.
like, "I hope she's gonna be home, but yeah, let's go." And she was home, and yeah, then later that night, he hit a massive home run, and the rest is
That's
history. They're gonna
that's
have a great
that's
prom, and they'll never
that's
forget it.
good. Good guy, BryceHarper. My favorite part of that entire video that you sent me though was the fact that like BryceHarper asked the girl to go to prom with the guy,
Yeah.
and the girl was like, "Sure," and then totally ignored her prom date and just
Yeah.
gave BryceHarper a hug,
Yeah,
like a
she's
very
like,
long
"Can I have
hug.
a hug from you?" I mean
And then I can't remember if she said it out loud or what, but it looked like from the video she's, "Oh, like, I need to hug the guy."
Yes, yes. She was like, "Oh, oops. This isn't
Yeah.
actually about Bryce Harper." But I
I
mean
yeah. So that's awesome though. Congrats to them, and she got a lifelong memory. That's so funny
mhm.
though. But I need
We
to
love those
know.
kind of stories. That's what we're here for.
I need to know how the kid got to Bryce
Yeah,
Harper to get him to ask like randomly go to the girl's house. Like
yeah.
Phillies fans, help me. Help
I
me. I need to
will
know.
I will try to find out for you.
Yeah.
I'll ask
I need a
them.
more in the know Phillies fan.
Yeah.
Kelsey's new. She don't know the shit
Still
yet. Okay.
technically on the outside, yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking about people being on the outside, I think this guy's not gonna be on the outside for very long because
Mm,
Shohei Otani's supposed quote unquote best friend besides eBay, DavidFletcher, who is currently in the Atlanta Braves organization as a pitcher. Did you know that?
oh,
He was an infielder for the Angels when he played with the Angels, but
okay.
now he's in the Braves
It's
organization
like yeah, it's ringing a bell. I do know because he's in
as a pitcher.
AAA, right?
hmm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Knuckleballer.
Mhm.
But apparently, David Fletcher is being investigated in that same Shohei Otani Ipe gambling ring.
Same guy. Same illegal bookie.
And from the original story, it said that David Fletcher is the one that had introduced eBay to the bookie. So you mean to tell me that David Fletcher, who was Shohei's, besides eBay's quote unquote best friend on the team, eBay, who he spent 99% of the time with, did all of the gambling, and Shohei didn't know shit about any of it? Not one bit? Like, not anything?
There's also because I am totally with you in that regard, like, really? There's definitely a chance that, like, he knew that they were doing it, but was just like, "I have no interest in that," or, "Obviously, I need to stay far away from this, so don't bring me in on your conversations," or, "Obviously, I'm not gonna be a part of it." So, I hope that's how it was, because I think that's, like, the only realistic thing is, like, he knew, but he wasn't a part of it. But,
I'm
yeah, when
hoping.
you're around people that much,
I'm
I don't
really
know, man.
hoping.
And I know I feel bad for Angels fans, but they were freaking out about how, like, "Why are they calling this" every article says, like, "Former Angels player," but he's in the Braves system now. Just call him a Braves player. I'm like, "No, the point of the article is
Right.
that, yeah, it was very
That's the
relevant
connection.
when he
Yeah,
was playing for the Angels, and I think there was even another player on the Angels that was partaking in it with him as well. Or he
I
was
think so.
betting his friend there was, like, a friend who was betting on Angels games
Oh,
while David Fletcher
was
was
on.
playing for the Angels. Yes, so there was some kind of a
Interesting.
tie there. So, yeah, it's very relevant that, it's all a tie that is directly back to the Angels and the eBay and all of that. Yikes.
Yikes indeed. Again, I wanna say that Shohei is innocent. That's what I want to believe, but I
Yeah,
have seen way too many crime dramas, and I have literally heard way too many actually true crime stories. And the fact that all of this, legitimately the biggest scandal, quote unquote, has just been blanketed over and really swept under the rug. We
yep.
talked about it for 2 seconds and now it's done.
That is honestly
And
what makes it most suspicious to me is how just shut down low key. "Nope. Did it even
we're just
happen?
not
Oh,
we're not
great."
gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yep.
did happen, didn't it?
It's a little sus, as the kids would say.
Right? It's a lot sus. No cap. No cap, Kelsey. Apparently there's like new lingo now and I'm all, what
Oh,
the
I've
fuck are
no
you
clue.
actually saying? It's so dumb. There's like sigma and beta and alpha. And then there's, like, a whole thing with skibbity riz, and I'm all, "What are you
Yeah.
even saying words right now? What the fuck?"
Mm-mm.
Yeah, apparently something's, like, really good. It's skibbity riz toilet. The fuck? The actual fuck, people. What are you doing? Stop it. Anyhow,
Skibbity Riz toilet happen.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. But apparently it is happening because it's an actual thing that children are saying.
Not here. Not on Bourbon and Baseball.
Not on no, just good night. But other people are saying this that are not awesome. The Rangers are not awesome. I say that.
Yeah, we should probably call this segment "Baseball is Baseballing" because we're gonna talk about series that have happened recently that went exactly the way that we drew them up as well-informed
Absolutely.
baseball fans. The Rockies swept the Rangers, which I'm sure you saw that on your schedule. You just circled that series in red and said, "Wow, can't wait to get there mid-May when the Rockies are gonna sweep the Rangers."
And I was very confused. I was so confused on this because they were in Colorado. They were in Colorado, and
Mhm.
I was expecting some big home runs, and
Yeah.
they were not blowouts. The Rockies just pitched really well,
Yeah, Cal
and I
Quantrill.
don't know how I strung those words together,
I saw as
but
you were saying it, you were like, are these this goes together?"
is that the words that I wanna say? Yeah, because the scores were 4-2, 8-3, and 3-1.
Damn. Okay.
They held that vaunted Rangers lineup, and I legitimately say vaunted because last season you had all of the power there. You had Marcus Simeon, you had Corey Seager, you had Evan Carter, Nate Lowe. Legitimately, the first 4 of that fucking lineup could hurt you,
Mhm.
and they are hurting much less this
Yeah.
season.
Congrats to Marcus Simeon on 10 years of service, by the way. I think he hit that in the last couple of days, but, maybe during that Rocky sweep, so not a great way to celebrate. Sorry your party was so
Mm-mm.
lame, Marcus.
Yeah, and then the Angels won that like, their next series, the Angels won. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California. I
Mm.
don't actually know what the actual
Los
title
Angeles
of the
Angels of Anaheim. You nailed it.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Why are there 2
They're
cities? That's
I don't know because they play in Anaheim, but I think is Anaheim part of Los Angeles? I don't know. It's an Artie
it's
Moreno thing, and nothing he does makes sense, so we can't try
okay.
to figure it out.
So, anyways, but yeah, the and one game that the Rangers won in was in 13 innings, and it was a walk-off hit by pitch. 13 innings, walk-off hit by pitch, and the Angels went 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 18, people.
See, that sounds more like the Angels.
That
And the walk-off hit by
exactly,
pitch is very on brand. Mhm.
exactly. But the Angels took 2 of 3 from the Rangers. They also took 2 of 3 from the fucking Astros. Fucking embarrassing.
We don't have to talk about that, it's okay.
Yeah, we're not yet, not yet. And apparently They've now lost 2 to the Phillies. They play tomorrow at 12:05. So maybe Phillies will sweep them. Let's
This has
hope.
become an anti-Rangers podcast, just fully.
What do you mean it's always been there. It's always been there, Kelsey. No, but like legitimately though, it's one of those where it's so confusing, this AL West, because you looked at the AL West and you said, okay, like on paper, it's going to be these 3 in a dogfight.
Mhm.
But this was not how anybody drew any of it up. Not any of it. And so no one saw the Mariners on top. It's definitely not the Mariners on top. It was either one of the Texas teams and
Mm.
then Seattle. That's how 99% of people saw it. We don't know what's going on. Anyways, so Rockies sweep the Rangers. And tell me, Kels, who else swept
The
this
team, the
last
unsweepable team?
the
The
unsweepable team? Well, in
unsweepable
the
has
regular
been
season.
swept.
In the
Yeah.
regular season. We gotta
Well,
make that
this is the way
distinction.
that we all expected the Orioles to get swept in the postseason last year after winning over 100 games and having the best record of baseball. We all also expected that their regular season sweepless streak would be ended by the 2024 St. Louis Cardinals, as it was today. So the Cardinals swept Adley Rutschman and the Orioles straight out of St. Louis. And the Cardinals, man, 23-26 now. They are sole possession of third place in the NL Central, just 5 games out of first place, coming back.
I'm excited for you. But I did have a question though, because there was a suspended game from last night's rain out, apparently.
Yes.
Do you think if it did not get rained out, you would have swept him?
Quite possibly. It was tied when they called the game last night. And at that point, it's really just like, was the offense going to be on? Because the Card may have helped the Cardinals bullpen a little bit, especially Jojo Romero, who has pitched a ton recently and has been a little off in his last couple outings, that he got some extra rest and was a big part of the first game win today, that they finished the game from yesterday. But I don't know. I honestly thought there was no way they were going to win the third game. And it was 3-0 Orioles for the majority of that game. So I don't know. It's baseball. And I like to think that I was at the May 12th game in Milwaukee, the Brewers versus Cardinals, and they had a come from behind win there as well, PaulGoldschmidt breakout game. And I just like to think we're gonna look back on that as like the sharp turn around the corner of the season for the Cardinals. And I like to think that I somehow have brought the devil magic back to the Cardinals. Wait to see. It's still a little early, but this might be it. Might be for
I
now.
like it. Is Paul Goldschmidt fully back? Half back?
He's
Turning corners? Like what are we doing?
Looks completely different. He's back.
Oh, good.
Yeah. His numbers still aren't great because he's obviously digging himself out of a hole. But in terms of, if we looked at the last 10 games, completely different player than you were seeing in the first month of the season. And a lot of that is, I don't know, it was definitely extreme. But as we talked about, he always warms up as the weather warms up.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think it was just like cold spell in conjunction with he's always a slow starter. But Paul Goldschmidt is here and here to stay. I think we can solidly say that. Just gonna knock on wood here.
That gives me a little hope. I am hoping that my aging first baseman,
he's coming
Jose
back up.
Yes and no. He is still in the Florida Complex League. Apparently, he's coming back and playing a couple of rehab games in AAA, I think, or maybe in Corpus. I think it just depends on like where they are, if they're at home or not.
Yeah.
But so it'll be either in Corpus or in Sugarland, which is our AA and our AAA team. And I'm really bummed about it because our fill-in, quote unquote, first baseman, JonSingleton, has been doing great things.
And home runs left and right.
Oh God, they're beautiful, majestic as shit. And when he's not pimping home runs, he's working walks. And we've said from the jump, if JonSingleton got everyday run,
it's
got the everyday at bats.
I don't want to see that taken away from him.
He would be a serviceable first baseman. I don't need a superstar at first base. I have superstars. I just need a not black hole. And JonSingleton has been that in spades, and it's been wonderful. And I'm not looking forward to Jose Abreu trying to get back in the lineup. And unfortunately, they're paying him $19 million. And it's that whole sunk cost fallacy. You're paying him, so you got to use him.
Yeah.
Do I though? Do I? If you got to pay him either way, so you'd much rather pay him and keep winning rather than pay him and lose, right? It's
Right. And they don't have the breathing room to be making
yeah.
that kind of call right now. Oof.
And that's why I was thinking that he was not going to come back up until we had dug ourselves out of this hole, at least until we were much closer. But
Mhm.
they were thinking that they were going to activate him for the Oakland A's game, or the Oakland A's series, which I understand, soft landing and all that bullshit.
Sure.
But at this point, I'm all, can we just, why? Why are we going to upset the team rhythm?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. But another team that I think will probably be sellers at the deadline, if the Astros and the Cardinals may or may not sell at the deadline, but one team that definitely will be the Chicago White Sox. However, they take 3 from the Guardians. What the fuck,
Yeah.
Guardians? What's happening?
3 of 4 from what? Guardians still, even with that, are one of the best teams of baseball right now. Only the Yankees and the Phillies, I believe, have a better record than them still at this moment in time. Yeah. So still 33 and 17, even after dropping 3 games to the Chicago White Sox. But the White Sox they've been doing this. They've been going through, they get like a very short spurt of hotness and
Yep.
then
It could be because I'm telling you, it's because Tommy Pham.
it is.
Because
Well,
Tommy
I
Pham.
mean, undoubtedly, yes.
1,000 million trillion percent. No, but I'm still befuddled that he didn't get a contract way fucking earlier than what happened.
I
So,
know, right? Yeah, and there will be a lot of fun speculation over where he's gonna go at the deadline as well, because that's
well,
definitely happening.
Washington apparently, let's see, they won the Washington series too. So they swept Cleveland. They won the Washington series. They got swept by the Yankees, which that makes sense. They did not get swept by Toronto. That's yay for you though. Chicago doing the things. Corey Julks, who was an outfielder for the Astros, unfortunately got DFA'd and landed with the White Sox and is doing great things over there. Got his first home run over there and making that team a little bit better. Making that team a little bit better.
And that's another thing
Paul
to love
DeYoung.
about baseball is because, yeah, even when the team is like the White Sox are clearly not going anywhere, there's still so many pieces of that team that are really interesting to watch and root for. So that's
Yeah,
why, like, even the fan base can stay invested in it, and especially those of us who just like to take in all of baseball.
absolutely. And because we like to take in all of baseball, we're in the know when new City Connects come out. And the aforementioned Guardians that the White Sox beat got new City Connects.
Did they?
And
They did. Did they?
they did.
They did. The same
They did.
really,
They did.
the 2 City Connects we're gonna talk about, it's, oh, did they get new City Connects? Are they just not, yeah, they're, like, the same or not different
But
enough or not
not
unique enough? The Guardians one looks like a Team USA World Baseball Classic uniform to me.
kind of, yeah. But the jersey itself, I don't know what pattern is behind the jersey, but it looks like it's crushed velvet. I know it's not crushed velvet. There's no way in
Yeah.
hell
I think we
they're
talked
playing with
about this
crushed
a
velvet.
little bit.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand what that is. And then the fact that it's just CLE. All right,
Ooh.
they weren't horrible. They weren't great. It was nondescript, and I was like, okay, whatever. But Kels, these St. Louis Cardinals, City Connects, it's the same fucking jersey. It's the same
Their red
goddamn
is the
thing.
first time they have ever had a red regular season jersey. Susie, how dare you insinuate that they are the same?
The I I don't understand how this is different. It's got a bat with a bird. Is that
Yeah.
and it just says, like, "in the loo"
It
instead
says
of
the loo, AKA
okay.
in the toilet is and the
I
state of the franchise does not help, the timing on this. Also, the only time anyone from St. Louis has ever called St. Louis the Lou is, like, in a Nelly song. It is referred to as the Lou in one Nelly song, and Nelly is from St. Louis.
yeah,
And so, of course, they had Nelly do a hype video for it, which is easily the best, coolest thing about the City Connects. It's the only saving
that's the only
grace.
cool thing? Okay.
Absolutely. And I will say that, like, with all of these, because, like, I'm looking at a picture of the Guardians now, and when you can see it up close and see the details, you're like, "Oh, okay, there's some uniqueness to it," whatever. It is you can have more appreciation for it when someone is walking you through or you're reading every little thing about it that's been put into it. But if I can't see that when I'm watching the game and they're wearing the uniforms, like, does it really matter? And yeah, the two big things that I would say about the Cardinals that make them not great, not exciting for me is the fact that, yes, the birds on the bat logo is on there and it is exactly the same as their normal jerseys. Super iconic, absolutely beloved. Like, Foul Territory has been asking players besides the team that they play for, like, what's your favorite baseball uniform? And so many of them have said the Cardinals because of the birds on the bat, amazing. But God, the franchise is just so predictable and safe in all of the ways that I'm not surprised. Like, I'm simply not surprised that this is what we got. The thing that is surprising to me about it is that there was a lack of foresight of writing the Lou across it as if having a
Like,
giant L that is
right,
also means
the toilet.
I know it's spelled differently, but still,
Yeah.
for all practical purposes, like, we're just walking right into that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna save my money, not looking to invest in a City Connect jersey personally, but I
Well, I mean,
mostly what I do wanna say, Susie, is I feel misled because the Budweiser Twitter account tweeted to me. I tweeted something like a month or so ago that said, "If it's not a Clydesdale costume, if the City Connects are not a Clydesdale costume, we riot." And the Budweiser account tweeted to me with the eyeballs. And we as Cardinals fans, the whole fan base was like, It's gonna be like a Clydesdale themed uniform, Bud
it's
Country, baby, let's go." There's not even the smallest nod to Anheuser-Busch, who, like, the owners of Anheuser-Busch, obviously the stadium is still named after them. August Busch was a very beloved former owner of the Cardinals. That would have been way more interesting and just, like, meaningful. But anyway, okay. Yeah, no,
I
not a huge fan.
I love that so much. That is cracking me up that that's the takeaway. Not the fact that it looks almost exactly like your regular uniforms and not anything like a different City Connect. It's the
Yeah.
fact that it's not Clydesdale themed.
Okay, so I just thought it was so funny thinking about, like, imagine telling Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado that you're gonna be wearing a Clydesdale costume to play baseball in. Maybe not even a Clydesdale costume, but just like a baseball uniform that very much looks like we're trying to dress you as a Clydesdale. But then that might be less offensive than telling Nolan Arenado you're gonna wear a giant L in the middle of your chest. It's gonna say the Lou. Like, that might actually be worse.
Oh my god, I love that
I don't
so
know. Nolan, if
much.
you're listening, let me know. What would you prefer?
I think someone just needs to come up with their own version
Oh,
of this
okay, I'm gonna tag you in it because I actually
that can
have
be a
a
thing.
wonderful Twitter follow here. Her name is Lauren. Lauren Crosley, she drew me
Stop
the
it.
uniform. Yes. I will tag you
That's
in it.
amazing.
It's amazing. It's great, and they should have absolutely let her design the City Connects.
I love that so much. If you are watching on the YouTubes and you see me dying, my eye is, like, burning right now, so I'm not
I'm not
trying to be a
making
pirate.
you cry.
Yeah, I was actually, like, cracking up laughing,
And then you were
but
like, "Oh, shit. Wait, there's actually something in my eye."
there is my eye is burning for some reason, and I
Oh,
don't know
no.
why, so I'm not trying to be a pirate, but apparently I'm going to be a pirate and just be like, "Arr," I just with the one eye, talk to you. Regardless, though, that's so funny. Yeah, lit really and truly, the whole reason the City Connects became a thing, not only to sell merch, right,
Totally.
was to tell the story of your city
Yeah.
and connect random people that don't live in the city
Yes, with the
to
idea
your
of,
city. And I don't like, what does the St. Louis one tell me? What does the Cleveland one tell me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all of these things. I'm all doesn't tell me shit.
yeah,
Doesn't
they're
tell me
almost
shit.
like a little too nuanced because whoever designed them can argue for you, or the team who's trying to sell them will say, "They have the river, the little wavy pinstripes that mean the river." But you can't even see that hardly on your TV screen, let alone
Right.
and nobody's gonna ask you about it.
You're
No,
like, I why? That's not a thing. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna grade the Cleveland Guardians a C because I don't love them. I don't hate them.
yeah,
They're
I
like
agree.
nice. I'm gonna give them a C. I'm giving the Cardinals a D. That's just it's you. What did you do? It's like whoever designed them waited to the last minute and said, "Oh fuck, that's due tomorrow," and then was like,
That
"Here you go."
is that is absolutely that's hilarious, and I totally agree with you, except for, like, from someone who knows the franchise more, it is more so that they're that, like, safe and predictable, and the
Oh,
fans want traditional, and I think they really think this is how they're gonna sell the most of them, and that might absolutely be true. Obviously, like, I'm a lot younger than the average I'm a lot younger than the average baseball fan, so I don't know. But and listen, they have that classic look to them, so when it comes right down to it, it's like, what's gonna sell the most? And this might sell the most, but I completely agree with you. I think taking a closer look at the Guardians, I would give them, like, a C plus, maybe B minus, because they do the thing that I don't love about them is you can't tell, like, CLE is not
right,
I'm not gonna look at that and be like, "That's a Guardians jersey," or, "That's a
right.
Cleveland jersey," even.
Yeah,
But there are some really cool things about the pattern, and they look cool. They're, like,
yeah,
aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The Cardinals, yeah, I gotta go with a D. The only reason I'm not giving them an F is because they are generally, like, aesthetically fine, like, the birds on the bat
right.
is we love it,
It's like
everybody loves it,
yeah, like
that's
it's
why it's
iconic. Like
there. But it's
you
so
recognize what team it is.
yeah, but
Like
almost too much,
yeah,
so
it's a little too on the nose.
yeah, absolutely. Too predictable, too boring, and it just I hate using the word boring because if you are a Cardinals fan that Chris Bryant called St. Louis boring years ago, and he became public enemy number 1, and he still is, I hold it in my heart, and it's the first thing I think of whenever I hear his name, but I literally tweeted out, like, "Are you trying to prove Chris Bryant right with these jerseys?" Because that's generally how I feel about it, is if I had to say it in one word, it would be boring.
That's okay. That's very true. It's very true. So we're gonna move on to something that's not so boring, and this is gonna get my shackles up. My what is the word that I'm looking for? It's not
Um,
shingles. I feel like it's shackles, but I don't think that's right either. Hackles? I don't know what word I'm looking for. Words are hard, people. Words are very hard. Basically, I'm going to get offended. Just know this that I'm going to get offended when I talk about this next topic, and it is the ALNL MVP peoples
yeah.
so far, who other people think deserve it, who I think deserve it. And I'm going to just start and I'm going to tell you that the AL MVP should be Kyle Tucker. Should be
Mm.
Kyle Tucker. And that's not just me being a homer because he's an Astro. That is legitimately because this motherfucker has the stats to back it up. And I haven't seen enough love for Kyle Tucker and what he's doing this season. And I've seen a bunch of love for Juan Soto,
Mm,
Aaron
mhm,
Judge. I wonder why. I've seen love for Gunnar Henderson.
mhm.
Deservedly so for Gunnar Henderson. I've seen love for Bobby Wood Jr. also deservedly. Juan Soto has got the numbers, some numbers to back it up. Aaron Judge, what's happening right now? Like you do not just go
No.
over there.
Yeah. Just
You
because
need to
you're
do
Aaron
yourself a
Judge
little. Yeah.
doesn't mean you get to be in the MVP conversation every year. Absolutely
Yes.
not.
So Kyle Tucker, I need you to know Kyle Tucker leads the AL in home runs. 17. 17 home runs. Last season he had 29, and that's just because the umpires are fucking stupid and awarded him a triple the last game of the season
Ah!
instead of a home run. It was gonna be a
Shoot.
inside the park home run. They didn't award him that. They awarded him a triple. After they awarded him a home run, and then they were like, "Oh, just kidding. It's a triple. Oh, wait, no, just kidding, it's a home oh, no, just kidding, it's a triple."
He still has
He's
over
gonna
half as many. Even if he had 30, he has over half as many, and it's only May 22nd.
Mhm. He's cut down on his strike rate. He has walked more than he has struck out.
Love it.
He is on fire. He is on fire, and part of me is really trying not to put the whole is it because he's an Astro? Is that why he's not being talked about?
No, it is though.
Like, stigma
I was
on it.
totally gonna say that it is because the team is not performing up to standards of to have the excitement around them the same way that, like, the Yankees and the Orioles are. So that's why, yeah, automatically you're gonna say the MVP is gonna be on one of the most winningest teams. I do think that that's part of it right now, but I think on a lot of levels, it's even more impressive to be performing at that level consistently on a team that is not doing it around you because you don't have as many opportunities to put you quite literally do not have the opportunity to put up those numbers when you don't have everyone around you doing the same or performing anywhere near that level.
Kelsey, do you wanna know what his OPS plus is right now?
I do.
His OPS plus is a 206.
I was just looking at
206.
I was just looking at Ohtani and bets. I know we're not talking about the NL yet, but which is weird because I keep forgetting that Shohei Ohtani is in the NL.
Mhm.
But I was looking at his OPS plus
His
the other
OPS
day.
plus is a 206. Mind you, people, baseline for that, the average baseball player is 100. That
Right.
is the scale that this is on. He is
Oh, yeah, Ohtani says
106.
Ohtani says 203. So it's above Shohei
So dumb.
Ohtani's.
This is so dumb. His slash line is fucking beautiful. His slash line is a 293 with a 425 OBP, a 649 slug. I'm in awe of KyleTucker right now, guys. You have no idea. Every time he comes up to bat, I'm in awe. Like I said, he has 17 home runs. That leads all of Major League
Mhm.
with 17. He has 40 walks. Again, leads all of Major League. He has, let's see. Oh, the bold indicates totals player led league. 206 is italic. So he leads the entire league with the highest OPS right now. OPS
Mhm.
plus, excuse me. This guy is doing all of the things, legitimately all of the things, guys, because we're on the struggle bus right now. The Astros are on the struggle bus. So I actually put up a tweet this morning about Juan Soto because that is who Vegas odds are basically saying is supposed to win the AL MVP right now.
I feel like Juan Soto was a pick before the season even started. As soon as we knew he was on the Yankees, everyone was like, "He's gonna have an MVP year." And not saying that he's not having a great season, but yeah, I think there's definitely some other bias at play there for him specifically, because I would say Bobby Witt, Kyle Tucker, who was the other one that you mentioned? There was somebody else. Oh,
Gunnar
easily
Henderson.
all 3 of them over him.
So the only categories that Juan Soto leads in right now is RBI. He has one more RBI than Kyle Tucker with 37, and batting average. So batting average, Juan Soto has a 309, Kyle Tucker has a 293. In all of the other categories, Kyle Tucker leads. Oh, I take that back. Juan Soto has played more games, has had more plate appearances, and has more hits than Kyle Tucker. But Kyle Tucker
Well,
has
yeah.
3.5 WAR right now. 3.5 WAR. It's May, people. Juan Soto has 2.2. Kyle Tucker has 48 games, 215 plate appearances, 51 hits, 17 home runs, 36 RBI, 9 stolen bases, 293 batting average. Like I said, a 425 OBP, 649 slug, a 1.075 OPS, which is good for a 206 OPS plus. The plus means park adjusted. So, love that. What is not Kyle Tucker. What is Bobby Wood Jr.'s numbers compared to Kyle Tucker, I wonder?
Bobby Witt.
When you do that, I'm going to look up Gunnar Henderson's.
Yeah, he has a 305 or a 304 batting average, 362 on base, 546 slug. His OPS is at 909, so OPS plus of 153. Again, above average, but nowhere near Kyle Tuckerdom. His batting average is higher. I think the batting average is really the one thing that stands out specifically, is he probably has the lowest batting average of these guys that we're talking about. But everything
So
else is
Kyle Tucker leads Gunnar Henderson in every statistic over Gunnar Henderson.
wow.
So 3.5 WAR to 3.3 WAR, 48 games to 46. He has 10 more plate appearances. He has 3 more hits. Again, 1 more home run. So Gunnar Henderson and Kyle Tucker are like neck and neck for home runs. Gunnar Henderson has 16, 36 RBI for Tuck, 34 for Gunnar, 7 stolen bases for Gunnar, 9 for Tuck, 267 batting average versus 293, 346 OBP versus 425, 600 slug versus 649, a 946 OPS versus 1.075, and a 171 OPS plus versus 206.
Yeah, but what the hell? I'm looking at the betting odds right now, and Juan Soto is the favorite to win, like, by a lot, and then Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt are tied for, like, 2nd based on the betting odds. That just seems so not right.
Yeah.
And
So
then you've
I
got Gunnar Henderson and, again, substantially behind him, Kyle Tucker.
I don't know. I'm all maybe I need to lay some money down on KyleTucker right now and
Tyler O'Neill's down here though. He's 18th in the betting odds.
oh, all right. There you go.
Just got to put that out there to trigger some Cardinals fans. But anyway,
But yeah, so can KyleTucker keep this pace up? I don't know, honestly. I want to say I want to hope he does, just for the sheer homer in me. But I think he's coming into his own right now. He's
mhm.
27.
He's in free agent year too. Yeah, or no, next year.
Next
But
year.
they're talking
Yeah.
about extending him, which now is gonna cost them a little bit
I
more.
don't understand why they're not extending him right now. Like before the price goes fucking up.
Yeah, they should have done it already.
It's a whole discourse over here in Astroland. It's yeah, but speaking of extensions though, did you see that article about how Steinbrenner is saying that next year's salary line is going to go down for the Yankees?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's and I'm like, I'm sorry, what now?"
Huh.
And there was a line in the article that said something about how the high payrolls are just unsustainable because of the luxury tax that they're having to incur. And I'm all, you did this. You know
Right.
you did this. What are you doing?
Baltimore
I
Yankees gonna have opinions about this? Okay.
yeah. The chaotic part of me, the petty part of me cannot wait until they don't offer Juan Soto all of the money in the world and then just watch Yankee Twitter fans just implode on themselves. That's the chaotic part of me. The baseball part of me that sees Juan Soto on the Yankees and just it's the most perfect gross made match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And I if they don't resign Juan Soto, it will be probably the most all-time stupidest move
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, I just assume they will do whatever has to be done. So how can
Yeah,
you say that, yeah, your payroll is also gonna go down in that same year?
but
But, yeah, maybe he'll defer it like Ohtani.
sure, maybe.
I don't see Scott Boras being super up for that, but
Yeah, I don't
it will
either.
be it's already a huge point of conversation.
Yeah.
The NL MVP odds, I feel, are much less controversial because, again, these were predicted before the season even started, but teammates Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani are kind of neck and neck. I think Mookie Betts is in the betting odds, he is heavily favored just over Shohei Ohtani. And I would say, yeah, if the season ended today, Mookie Betts should be the pick because I am someone who's like a Shohei Ohtani for MVP truther. If that man is starting 30 games and has an ERA under 4 and he is offensively doing what he has done, he should have been the AL MVP last year. I really
Mhm.
genuinely felt that way. Obviously, he's reaching even probably new heights at this point offensively, but because he is a DH, he's exclusively a DH, what Mookie Betts is doing in terms of what MVP means to me as a whole player, he would be the one that I would pick right now. But right behind them, you've got William Contreras for the Brewers, which I think is pretty cool that he's in that conversation.
Mhm. I
Bryce
love that.
Harper and Fernando Tatis Jr. rounding out the top 5. Would
Yeah.
you pick Betts or Otani or somebody else?
Honestly, my immediate thought goes to Shohei Ohtani, but then the analytical baseball side of me says, "But wait, Mookie is doing the same thing and playing defense pretty well in multiple positions, and so it would probably have to go to Mookie Betts." But don't get it twisted. We always had imagined what it would be like if Shohei Ohtani was just a pitcher or just a hitter,
Yeah.
and would he excel even more so at the one thing that he's doing, and you can see what the fuck's happening when he
Mhm.
can just focus on batting. And honestly, I think that he will probably end his career as maybe a DH outfielder. I think for his health and longevity, I think they maybe will transition him to just a hitter.
Yeah, I was just looking up to see if a DH had ever won MVP, and Shohei Ohtani is actually the only everyday DH to win MVP in 2021, but he was also pitching then too.
Right.
So for him to win it exclusively as a DH, it
Yeah.
would be the only time that an exclusive DH had done that. I don't know, man. I still think that I have some like weird feeling that there's this era of outfielder Ohtani that we haven't seen yet, and to see him reinvent himself and still be I guess he wouldn't be a two-way player in that case, but to reinvent himself after he's already had this first act as a crazy successful two-way player, that for me is how I would like to see him come back into the true reigning MVP. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously a super exciting player that we're gonna be talking about in every stretch in every way for hopefully many years to come if the Dodgers have their way, because he's been making money for even more years than he can probably even stay interested in who's winning
Yeah.
MVP.
Yep. So it will definitely be interesting to see what happens, how everything plays out at the end of the season. But yeah, if KyleTucker stays on this pace that he is playing right now and does not win the AL MVP, shit is rigged
I
on
think if
KyleTucker's.
especially if the Astros, even if they don't come back and
Right.
are in contention, but especially if they are, he has to be a
But
very
s
serious contender for that.
but I'm looking back at those years that Mike Trout won it when the Angels were
Yeah,
dog shit, and,
that's true. It's not
you
always a
know?
player that's on a super successful team. Even when Paul Goldschmidt won it for the Cardinals in 2022, they barely snuck into the playoffs and got eliminated very quickly. So that's where, yeah, it's like, what does MVP mean to you? And more importantly, what does MVP mean to the writers who
Yeah.
vote on it?
So, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, but just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on it, people. Some more things that you need to keep an eye out on is the IL update. There's way too many of these to go through, so we're just gonna hit the major ones being, unfortunately, Xander Bogaerts of the San Diego Padres with a shoulder injury, which it looks like he's going to be out for quite some
Yeah,
time.
a broken
Was that
shoulder does not sound great to me.
No, but it's not a labrum tear though, right? It's just the bone.
Right.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
That's better. That's better than a
In terms
labrum.
of, yeah, the length of his recovery could be shorter.
Yeah,
We'll see, but he's been having a tough time anyway, so, yeah, obviously hope for a speedy recovery for him, and maybe he can turn it around in the second half of the season. Garrett Whitlock is gonna have TJ? How about this guy?
possibly. He's going for a second opinion, but yeah, he injured his elbow and it's not looking great for Garrett Whitlock. Maybe they'll do I don't know, maybe they'll try to do the PRP shots or whatever and I don't know, work through it like Tristan McKenzie. I don't know. Do an internal brace. Who knows? But we'll keep you updated on that. But people that have come back from the IL, Walker Bueller has come back and his second start looked way better than his first start. And
Mhm.
it's just not fair that the Dodgers just keep spawning motherfuckers. Just
Yeah.
cool.
Here
Love
comes
that for
another
him.
one, and we
Yep.
nursed him back to health, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
well worth our investment.
Yep. So Walker Bueller is back for them. Tyler Glass now is doing all the things for him. I think I saw an update on Dustin May too. Apparently, like he's throwing
Mhm.
off of flat ground, maybe. Apparently,
Yeah, he began throwing off
that's
the mound, actually,
oh,
a couple
a
days
mound.
ago.
Even better.
He's
Even better.
back.
So the Dodgers are dodgering guys with the pitchings and stuffs. And then Tommy Kahnle came back for the Yankees. And we shall see how tight his pants get over the season.
Yeah, what's the over/under on how many appearances before he rips the Fanatic's pants? 'Cause that gotta
Ooh,
happen very soon, right?
very soon. Yes. I don't know. But now that they don't get, I don't know, now that they don't get fit, no, they are going to get fitted now that Nike said that they are. So I don't know,
Maybe
but
not
like
till
very soon,
2025
probably.
though, so we'll see.
Yeah, probably very
Well,
soon.
we'll keep our eyes on Tommy Kahnle's thighs specifically to determine whether the pants have been improved or if we're still waiting on it.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But the Schmedium pants, I don't know. And ooh, we're gonna have to look up Robbie Ray and see where he is on his recovery. Since we can't look for Spencer Strider and his Schmedium pants.
Oh, yeah.
But we will keep you updated on all of that in upcoming episodes for sure.
Yeah, I do believe Robbie Ray is just starting to throw again, but I think he's still on track for hopefully after the All-Star break if he is gonna show up this season.
Fun stuff. We shall see what goes on and hopefully our respective teams get their heads out of their asses. Yours just swept the Orioles, so yay for y'all.
Yeah, the Cubs are up next. Hopefully, we're in good shape here. But yeah, it's a really telling time. I'm sure a week from now will be really interesting to not even a week from now, later this weekend when we sync back up after the next series here for both of them. I think it's a do or die time for these teams like the Astros and the Cardinals that we're, I don't know, fuck
Yeah.
around and find out at the beginning of the season. And
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, we're going to keep fucking around or we're going to find out. It's that time.
Yeah. We have 3 with the A's and then 4 with the Mariners. And that 4 with the Mariners is going to be our make or break. If we lose that, it will not be great. But we will keep you updated and go from there. And regardless, we will be here
Yeah, we'll
talking
be
about
here.
all of the balls, all of the news and notes, because that's what we do, people. That is what we do. With that, we're going to wrap. Kelsey, tell the peoples where they can find yous on the interwebs.
For all the baseball stuffs, I'm on Twitter at KBirdTweets. That's KBURD tweets. And I have the KBird Tweets YouTube channel as well, where you can find my weekly episodes of Peace, Love, and Baseball that come out every Tuesday. And that's anywhere and everywhere that you get your podcast. I assume we can find bourbon and baseball in a lot of the same spots. Is that correct?
You would be 1000% correct on the YouTubes, on the interwebs, on the Instagram. There we go. That's the word that I was looking for. On the Twitter. It will never be X because I am old.
Yeah, no.
And on Facebook. If you have not already subscribed to Bourbon and Baseball, what the fuck are you waiting for? Hit the big red subscribe button. Tell all your friends. If you've not left us a 5-star rating or given us all of the nice words in a review, please do that. I would really appreciate it. I know Kelsey would really appreciate it. And I don't know if I told you, Kelsey, I got recognized at the game that I went to on Friday with my children.
That's
and
amazing.
this random gentleman and his wife, and I totally have spaced on the gentleman's name and I feel so badly, but his wife's name was Pam. And we were waiting at batting practice and I had my kids and he goes, "Excuse me, is your name Suzy?" And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "Bourbon and Baseball, right?" I'm all, "Yes."
Yeah, who's asking?
And then my brain shut down because he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I watched the show." And I was like, "You do?" And then I turned into Ricky Bobby and my hands were up here and my shoulders were up here and I turned awkward and I didn't even make any small talk with him. I felt so badly, but I was shocked and amazed that people listened to the show. I don't know why, because we're awesome, but really and truly though,
Well, and then of all the people that are at an Astros game, yeah, that there was somebody there. You're like a
that
local celebrity
recognized.
now.
Yeah. And the girls were like, "Mama, who's that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Someone who listens to the podcast." And they go, "People listen to your podcast?" And I was like, "Apparently." Yeah.
Here's one in the wild.
Yeah. So it was adorable and I loved it. But yeah, so I had no idea how to make small talk. I was like, "Cool. Love that for me." I turned into like a bubbling idiot. So if ever you see me out in the wild and you come and attempt to talk to me, please don't mention that you listen to the podcast because I will not know how to react to that and will then clam up and be super awkward. So just news and notes, tips on how to interact with Suzy in the wild. And with that, we're going to wrap. On that high note, we're going to wrap and say, yay, baseball.